got 90 minutes, then our time is free. On the Music Relic Podcast with Mark, Lou, and Perry. So pull up a chair and have a cold one or two. Have a seat in the shade, you got it made. That's what we do, 'cause we talk about music, what we listen to. It could be something old, new, bar to blue, 'cause that's what we do. If you got 90 minutes, then our time is free. On the Music Relic Podcast with Mark, Lou, and Perry. Good evening and welcome to episode 6 of Music Relish Podcast, a music discussion podcast, a veritable cacophony of cockamamie, claptrap, perpetuated pack of pusillanimous picks, the nattering nabobs of nihilistic narcissism, Lou Colicchio, Mark Smith, and Perry Dedovich. Tonight we're going to talk about some couple one-hit wonders, a Joe Strummer the Mescaleros album, Global A Go-Go, and I want to talk about novelty songs. Yeah.
Nice intro, Lou. Nice intro.
Right,
nice little country intro.
Thank you. So where do we begin? On what?
Well, where do you want to begin?
Mark's got some tidbits as well. Mark's got a few snippets he was talking about, maybe bringing in. Talking about.
Yeah, a couple quick tidbits to start off the show.
Okay.
A couple little things I just ran across. It seems that maybe I'm late with this one, but there is going to be a Grateful Dead biopic directed by Martin Scorsese. And it's in the planning now. And
what's a biopic?
Biopic. That's like the Doors movie.
You got your eyes operated on.
Yeah.
Biopic.
So Jerry Garcia is going to be played by Jonah Hill. That could be actually very good. He's a good actor.
Wow. Cool.
And Martin Scorsese and Jonah Hill are executive producers on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, producers. They're the two producers. But here's the key where I think it's going to be a good movie. Bob Weir, Bill Kreutzmann, Phil Lesh, and Mickey Hart are executive producers. So,
oh wow, okay.
I hopefully
so
between Martin Scorsese,
yeah.
Well, sometimes approved isn't so good, but I think it'll just be. It won't be like the Queen movie where they play with the timeline and everything.
Right.
So I kind of can't wait for that. You know, of course, you guys know I'm a deadhead, so you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no idea when it'll be out, but.
I heard a Grateful Dead song
like that
called
Queen movie.
Sunrise. It sounded new. It sounded modern recording called Sunrise.
From,
woman singing. It said Grateful Dead. It was on the radio.
I don't know all their songs.
Weird. Anyway.
Yeah. And Perry,
when's it come? When?
No, it's still in the planning. They're still working on it, which, you know, I mean, I'm excited, but it could be 5 years. But Martin Scorsese's getting older, so they got to do it. Yeah. And also the guys in the Dead are getting older, so they got to get going on that. But Perry, I agree with you. Queen movie. It's good that Queen had a movie come out about him, but too Disney flag, too whitewashed. Yeah. And the timeline was all screwed up. It's worth seeing, but you know.
Yeah. And you heard about the one that Sacha Baron Cohen wanted to make, and then the band didn't want to let him do it or something.
It just wouldn't have made as much money. It probably would have been rated R, and they were thinking.
Well, from what I read, they really wanted to go into the more flamboyant side of Freddie Mercury and the band, and I don't know, his estate or somebody did not want, you know, Sacha Baron Cohen to go that route.
I think they're just trying to market Queen to younger kids, a new generation.
Across the board,
and they figured putting out an R-rated movie wouldn't achieve that. It would have been more authentic. Sacha Baron Cohen would have done a great job in it. Maybe in the future we'll get that. We don't know. But for now, hey, they're making money. Whatever. I'm happy for them.
I haven't seen the Elvis biopic either.
Me neither. I hear good and bad. I hear people that love it and people that hate it.
The new Elvis movie that's out now? That one? Oh, no, that's someone playing Elvis, right?
Yeah. That's a biopic.
That's the one? It's in the theaters now.
Yeah. So
isn't Tom Hanks, is he Colonel Parker? Colonel Tom Parker?
I think he is, yeah. Yep.
Playing the Colonel.
Yep.
Okay, second thing, little tidbit, just, along the music business stuff, that Prince's estate has finally been settled. His estate valued at $156.4 million was split between his three oldest siblings and a group called Primary Wave. Now, Perry, you touched on this. They're a private music publishing company. Another one of these that gets publishing rights.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this company made a deal with the three youngest siblings. They decided to sell out. So you got the three oldest siblings and this publishing company. And the master tapes, right after Prince died, were removed from Paisley Park Studios by Commercia Bank and Trust. That they were then the executives of Prince's estate. But part of this settlement, and this is actually good, all the master tapes are going back to Paisley Park. But just think of it this way. The estate settled, the three oldest siblings, and a music publishing company. We're going to see a shitload of Prince CDs coming out. It's going to be like when Jimi Hendrix died. We're going to see a lot of stuff. Get ready for it.
What about his children? Doesn't Prince have children?
I'm not sure.
What is Paisley Park now? Is it a museum or something, or is it still a recording complex?
I believe it's still a recording complex. Maybe it hasn't been rented out for recording since the estate's been in flux, but that's another source of income. They'll probably rent it out. Hell, REM recorded there. Sorry, Tom. Anyway, yeah.
Do you know what they recorded there? Whether was it an REM album or part of an REM album, or was one of their collaborations with REM?
I think it was most of an album. Don't remember exactly which one, but they.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of bands have used Paisley Park. It's a very good studio, world renowned.
Being such an REM geek, I'm surprised that one went by me.
Yeah, it was probably during the arena years. And go ahead.
No, I was wondering if Paisley Park is like his estate. Like, you know, is this his house or is it a whole thing, a whole complex?
I think he lived there, so it's probably an estate. Yeah. And I think kind of like 5150 with Eddie Van Halen, there's tons of tapes. And
I thought you were going to say Bubble Hill with Eddie Murphy. But...
Nah,
don't go on the elevator.
But exactly, the haunted elevator.
That's what,
but as a Prince, I'm a Prince
where his
guy.
event happened.
I'm hoping that some stuff in the vaults is more musician oriented because he did like. Through all his albums, he had some great albums that me as a guitarist and just love to hear his stuff. You know, we might get some really guitar-oriented stuff or jazz-oriented stuff. Who knows? But it'll be nice.
How many albums did he put out? Do you know how many records he put out?
Not off the top of my head, but it was a good amount. He kept pumping it out, especially in the later years of his life. He made a deal with Target. And it seems like twice a year Target was putting out an exclusive. But, you know, he was overseeing it, so it was not bad. I bought them all. I liked them.
Didn't his first records come out in the late 70s? Didn't his first records come out in the late 70s?
Yeah, I think it was like 79 or something.
78, yeah.
78?
Wow, so that's from... Yeah.
It's a long career.
Is 20 albums unreasonable? 15?
Yeah, it's probably, I would say 20 maybe.
Well, you know, he's a wealth of songs and whatever you want to call it. I mean, this guy is just pouring out of them.
Yeah, and it's not for everybody. You like him or you don't like him, you know. So
at least it didn't take 5 years to make a record.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's really right. But he was in the later years. A lot of the stuff coming out was older recordings. You know, he's mining the old stuff. He had thousands of songs recorded, so why not? You know, it's like, hey, I can go back and redo this stuff. Nothing wrong with that. People get mad about that. Nah, it's no problem. You put out a 45-minute album, you could have another 90 minutes of music. Save it for later, you know. So that's that. And then something I read today on CNN just got to me. It's titled, "This Summer Marks the Twilight of Classic Rock," which we kind of know what's happening. But
Twilight.
Yeah, well, basically, after that little blip where Carlos Santana fainted on stage, it kind of made a lot of people realize a lot of old rock and rollers out there. And it's not easy touring.
Yeah.
So they put a little list of this. These are artists touring this summer and their ages. Carlos Santana.
Are these final tours that we know of, or
we don't know.
Possibly. Lights Out tour.
Yeah. Well, this puts it all on. So listen to this: Carlos Santana, 74, touring. Bob Dylan, he's 81. Paul McCartney.
He'll always tour Bob Dylan.
Yeah, I wonder if he still smokes too.
Probably sounds like it. Paul McCartney, 80.
Yeah.
Brian Wilson, 80. Mick and Keith.
Brian Wilson's 80? Wow.
Yeah. Mick and Keith, Rolling Stones, are both 78. Townsend is
They're
70.
the youngsters.
Yeah.
Mick and Keith were the youngsters.
Yeah. Well, Townsend is a real youngster. He's 77. Daltrey's 78. They're touring. Daltrey shouldn't be singing anymore, in my opinion. Eric Clapton, 77. Rod Stewart, 77. Elton John's the baby, 75. Roger Waters, who I'm seeing in 3 weeks, 78. Ringo Starr, 81. Neil Diamond, 81. Stevie Nicks, 74.
Well, this is definitely Neil Diamond's farewell tour because
Yeah.
I understand he has some medical issues that he can't. He won't be able to continue on.
Yeah.
Touring act.
And he's
And then-
81. Who
81.
tours at 81? Ringo. Ringo and Neil Diamond are the oldest ones there.
Yep. Bonnie Raitt, 71. And then the last one that hurt me to watch was Genesis with Phil. Phil's 71.
Yeah.
He's the real baby, but I don't know how much longer. So what the article basically...
You're kidding. I thought they were done, Genesis.
Yeah, they are, but they
No,
I
toured.
thought
no,
they did their
toured.
farewell
Yeah,
tour and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah,
but they toured.
I don't. They'll probably never do that again.
No,
how could they
no.
do that again?
Yeah.
So-
I mean, unless the money is just ridiculous.
Well, what
No,
CNN
I don't think
pointed...
he could do it.
I don't think so either. I don't
No.
think he's in
I would-
very good
I
health.
don't think so either.
Nobody would want to see that. I think the way they did it was really cool.
Yeah.
But even some of those shows were kind of like, you felt great for him, but it's
Yeah.
hard.
Yep.
Also,
Yep.
it's not that it's going to kill him.
Yeah. Yeah. But basically, over the next 5 years, we're going to get a rash of our favorite artist deaths. And, of course, the article went down the road of this is the doom of classic rock. It's gone, no, rock's always going to be around. There's a lot of younger players out there, but it's the stuff we grew up with.
Yeah.
And it's disappearing, and it's going to be like 5 years of a lot of, oh no, every morning you're going to wake up and you're going to see something. I hate when that happens.
Well, all that new music sucks.
All that stuff sucks. We had that in January of 2016 or 15, where every time you look at the news, there's another artist or musician going.
Yeah.
But that's the great inevitable.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, get ready
all
for
things
it.
must pass.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Okay, I'm done with the news.
You can cheat death. You can cheat death by going out for a pizza.
Really?
Yeah, you
I'm
can.
going to get pizza.
Death comes to your door. Like, you went for a pizza, you cheated.
I'm done, guys. Take it over. Take it away.
Where do you want to go, Lou?
All right. How about my little my entertainment segment here? Because I effed up. We're going to talk about an album next, but I didn't do the homework. I'm bad. But anyway, this is a category of songs. It's kind of crappy, kind of funny. There's some good stuff here, but novelty songs. It is a form of music song that's gone on from Tin Pan Alley. It started, late 19th to early 20th centuries. A lot of stuff. I mean, it covers a lot of spectrum from the 30s on up until kind of current day, although it's not quite novelty like it used to be. But they're about gimmicks and humor and popular culture and parody. But I listened to some of them. Some I knew. Things I don't know. If you're listening and if this interests you, look some of these songs up because some are just kind of funny. Some are very socially unacceptable today, actually. I listened to one called Mr. Custer by Larry Verne, 1960. It's just like, how Custer made a mistake. It is terrible. I thought it was going to be more like semi-racist or something. It wasn't. It was just total camp bullshit. But then there's this one I think we all might have heard, the Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini. Right? Now, most of these in the early 60s, so this is what made the Beatles happen. This paved the way for the Beatles, amongst a lot of things.
Because it was such crap, right?
It was goofy.
Didn't you say one of the guy who became a Four Seasons write that song or something?
No,
Bob Gaudio or something?
I don't. No, he did Short Shorts, which is not on. That's almost novelty.
Yeah.
That's not too far off the mark either. But this one just, it was just the music behind it. It was just, at least Short Shorts had a greasy saxophone.
It's cheese. Yeah.
It's cheese. It's it's very cranked out. It bridged the gap between Motown and the British invasion. But some of these stuff. Remember Alley Oop? Actually, Itsy Bitsy Polka Dot was by Brian Hyland, 1960.
Brian Hyland?
Brian Hyland. He had another more.
He had some hits he had a hit in the 70s, I think. Yeah.
Maybe he did.
I have 45 with Brian Hyland. Yeah.
Yeah. But what a crappy song. Remember, this cat's name was Alley Oop Oop Oop.
Alley Oop Oop.
That was the Hollywood Argyles from 1960. Remember, They're Coming to Take Me Away. To the funny song.
Why?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a very known one. Do you know who the artist was that did that?
I don't.
Napoleon the 14th, and he had a bunch of this stuff.
Now, can you answer me
yeah.
this question? Did you happen to know that? I always heard that the flip side was the whole song backwards or something. Is that true?
I don't know. I don't know. You know,
that song scared me when I was a little kid. I heard it on Dr. Demento, and it's like, especially at the end, it's fading out. Yeah.
Is that the one? Remember when you ran away? I begged you not to go.
Yeah.
Huh?
Very disturbing.
Napoleon the 14th. Now this one is now of all the ones I looked at, I think the Grand Slam winner of all novelty songs is Ray Stevens.
Ahab the Arab.
This is Ahab the Arab, Prince of the Burning Sands, or whatever. It's just
gosh.
I mean, this is that just would not pass muster today.
And this is the guy who wrote "Everything's Beautiful," which is a nice song.
Yeah, so I give him credit for that. But yeah.
Yep.
Okay, then there was "Stranded in the Jungle" by the Cadets from 1962. Remember?
Meanwhile,
back in the jungle.
Oh, that was covered by the New York Dolls. Yeah.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It's two songs. Mark, you know the song?
No.
It's old classic. It's funny. It's two songs in one. It starts out with this, this guy stranded in the jungle. It's got the tom-toms. It's got the headhunters or whatever. Meanwhile, back in the States, then it goes into like a 50s band. So, two songs in one. But an interesting song. I mean, pretty cool architecture as far as the song. This one everybody knows. This is the most well-known one. It's the Monster Mash by Bobby Boris Pickett from 1962.
Yep.
All these songs. This was like the era of novelty, The Monster Mash. Oh.
Yep.
Now I've heard one called the Martian Hop by the Randells in '60. That's a really. My friend Steve mentioned that. He goes, "Listen to the Martian song. It's cheesy, but it's the kind of stuff Dr. Demento would play. But it's kind of cool." This is more racist parody stuff by Pat Boone, Speedy Gonzales. Remember that one? I'm Speedy Gonzales. It's just
I heard of it, but I don't.
It's buffoonery. It's terrible, terrible. They mentioned on one of the websites I looked at, "A Boy Named Sue" by Johnny Cash. Would you think that was a novelty song?
It was written by what's his name?
Shel Silverstein.
So yeah, he wrote a lot of novelty songs.
Yeah.
So yep.
But I mean, it's got a Johnny story to it, but there's a little itch there. So yeah. The worst one of all time is "My Ding-a-Ling" by Chuck Berry, 1972. That was his biggest hit, I think. Tragedy.
Seriously?
Yeah, I think so. That might have been his biggest hit. It was 73 too, so from 50-something to 73. Radios everywhere, FM.
And maybe he actually made some money from that one too.
Yeah. The Purple People Eater by Sheb Wooley. That was a number 1 in Canada. These songs were hits.
Shed Wooley, like a country singer.
Something like that, yeah. I don't know what else he did. Some of these writers you can go back and look at and you find out they actually had some legit stuff. Like Ray Stevens actually had some legit songs.
Yep.
A classic one, "Surfing Bird" by the Trashmen, 1963.
I like that one.
I did too.
I think Joey Ramone covered that, didn't he?
I don't know, maybe, but what movie what movie immortalized it?
Oh, I know. It was Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal Jacket, yep.
You got a girlfriend in Vietnam?
Yep. Oh boy. This one you guys could relate to. It was "Leader of the Laundromat" by the Detergents, 1965.
You told me about this, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. That's total novelty. Yep. I've heard it. It's well produced. You remember this one? "Hello, Mudda. Hello, Fada. Here I am at Camp Granada." Alan Sherman, 1963. That was an old piece of musical theater that he added those weird lyrics to. It's about going away to camp and
that had a lot to do with the Catskills.
Yeah, I thought it was Louis Prima.
That song is like Bird is a word. It gets in your head and you can't get it out.
Yeah.
Well, Lou's got the reverb. He can do all that.
I like the reverb. This one, another Ray Stevens, "The Streak." Well,
and then they call him the Streak. Yep.
Ethel, don't look, Ethel. Mark, do you ever hear that?
No.
Are you aware of the Streak craze of the early 1970s?
No. Well, let me ask you this: is there a novelty channel on Sirius FM?
I didn't look, but I'm going to look.
There should be, and you should host it.
Yeah, because I did Bubblegum last week, and some cool stuff popped up.
You know what? Put on Underground Garage. That would work out.
Actually, a lot of the stuff has been played on the Underground Garage, Mark.
Yeah.
Well, we have to redo our Bubblegum show too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Streak was a novelty song written by Ray Stevens about, by streaking. Doesn't want his wife to look at it, but she looks, of course.
Because in the 70s, there was a streaking craze.
Yeah.
Yep.
At a ball game, somebody would have ran naked right across the field or something.
My brother did it in California on the news.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Once they all, yeah. Anyway, Perry, I think this is your favorite novelty song.
I know what you're going to say.
Say it.
You tell me. No, you.
Chicka-boom by Daddy
Chicka-boom. Don't you just love it?
Yeah.
Wait, and a chick in a black bikini. Like, that really wouldn't fly today, right?
No. Not.
We'll just call the woman a chick.
Chick. If that chick don't want to know, forget her. Name the tune.
The boys are back in town.
Then Lizzie. Yep.
Good one.
What are they?
You get finger pistols for that one.
Right.
So Chickaboom. Who did Chickaboom?
Daddy Dewdrop.
And what year did it come out?
I would know, 1971.
Bingo, you got it.
That was a complete guess. Yep.
Chickaboom. Remember King Tut by
Steve Martin.
Got that 45.
Okay. Who was the band that it was? Steve Martin and
Steve Cropper on it?
I just found this out tonight.
Was Steve Cropper on it?
I don't know if maybe not, because there were some of the backup band were members of a very famous 1970s band that has the distinction of being the first American band to play behind the Iron Curtain in Russia.
Billy Joel?
Nope. No. It's a band, an actual band that's not an individual. They were more like a folk rock country. Yeah, they were like
the Birds.
No. The Nitty Gritty Dirt Band.
Really?
So it was Steve Martin and Toot Uncommons. Toot Uncommon, Tankerman.
Oh,
Toot Uncommon.
Yeah.
So, but King Tut, it was a great song. They are selling you. Disco Duck. By Rick Dees and his cast of idiots. Yes.
A little late, but better late than never, right?
Yeah, better late than never. It's Rick Dees and his cast of idiots, and I'll go with that. How about you? That was just 1976. Utter trash. This garbage. We can knock the shit out of that.
I wanted to punch him. I for some reason, it just...
He had a face that liked to hit, that was crap. How about this one? Convoy by C.W. McCall. The whole CB craze. We got ourselves a convoy.
Yeah. And there was one line in there where it was like almost a little like, we got a trucking convoy.
Okay. Oh, they were trying to be like...
BJ and the band.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We got a couple more here. Anyway, Spiders and Snakes by Jim Stafford.
Great song.
Jim
Stafford.
Spiders. It was a good song. Mark, it's kind of a country pop
thing. That ain't what it
thing.
takes to love me, you fool.
Like I want to be loved.
Yep.
He had a Midsummer variety series TV replacement in the 70s. He had his own show.
He did. He was a summer replacement. Yep.
Summer replacement, yeah. That was a number 3 hit in the United States. That was a big hit. His first album had 4 hits. Girl Named Bill. Is that our novelty song? No, She's My Girl Bill. She's My Girl Bill. Anyway, but that was covered by David Bellamy of the Bellamy Brothers. So the Bellamy Brothers, what is their big hit? Amongst the several.
Let Your Love Flow.
Yep.
That's a great song.
It is a great song.
I love the guitar playing on that. Electric guitar playing on that song. Yeah.
There's the reason. Now, 1980s and beyond, as we're winding down the novelty part.
Hey, Lou,
Mm-hmm.
you missed one in the 70s, but I'm going to wait for you to finish.
Okay. No, throw it in, Mark.
Okay, I'm sure there's... Okay.
Well, I don't want to...
Well, I'm moving on to the 80s, so I want you to throw it in.
Oh, we're on another decade. Okay.
Short People. Wouldn't you consider that a novelty song?
I thought about it, but it's more of a social commentary under the guise of a novelty song.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to short people. Like it's like Club NIMBY.
I'm just thinking in the context of if it came out today, it would be a problem, and that song would be a problem today if it came out.
I think it was taken as a novelty song because the meaning of it wasn't readily apparent. It looked like just someone's making fun of short people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like Steve Martin getting small.
Let's get small.
Let's get small. So the 80s, ever see Mel Brooks's Hitler rap? I don't know what's up with this. It's Mel Brooks as Hitler rapping in a video, but it's called To Be or Not to Be, and it's weird.
Oh, that was
Mel Brooks.
Brooks. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he did Springtime for Hitler and the Producers, but this was interesting. Anything by Weird Al Yankovic is novelty. I mean, he built a career on accordion and novelty, so I don't think it's worth mentioning. Remember Pac-Man Fever? Like Buckner and Garcia. It's just they were like disco parody songs, but they're that's true novelty cheese, but they were hits. Ever see Rodney Dangerfield? He did an album called Rappin' Rodney in '83.
Yeah, he's just rapping Rodney.
What the hell is he being me? A lot now, and some side things I mentioned, bands that were kind of novelty-ish. You'll find this interesting. They Might Be Giants. There's almost an element of parody. I mean, We're the Replacements by them is parody. I don't know if that's novelty. That's parody.
Well, no, that's also a jab in the gut because there was somehow they ended up on the same bill as the Replacements, and the Replacements really treated them like shit or whatever. So
yeah. Well, also I think they Might Be Giants being like an early, almost geeky techno band as opposed to Replacements.
Yeah.
They were the bawdy rock and rollers that bordered on self parody anyway. But they were mentioned. You know who the band Cake is?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
They got some good songs, but there's almost it's almost like novelish. I want a girl with a plastic raincoat. It's like almost it's maybe the delivery is like that, but I think they're kind of entertaining actually.
They do a great. There's I have this. They have this tribute to bread, and Cake is one of the groups that does a bread cover. Yep.
Cool. I put R.E.M's Stand as an almost novelty song at this point.
No.
Social commentary.
No way.
Well, there's something. It was used in that Chris Elliott TV series.
It's a pop song.
It is a pop song. It's novel.
Well, then
Shiny Happy People.
Yeah, that would have to be a novelty song if you were going to put Stand. Yeah.
I just Stand's more bubblegum, I think. Stand is kind of bubblegum, actually, but that's not a bad thing.
Yep.
Okay.
No.
How about Who Let the Dogs Out? All right. Rolling Stone wrote that number 3 on one of their most annoying songs of all time, apparently. It's just used in every sporting event, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is that novelty? I remember hearing it at a football game or a baseball game.
Yeah, definitely novelty.
I'm sure. The Georgia Bulldogs, they probably have it. At halftime.
It's
or
the
whatever.
equivalent of the novelty songs of the '60s, what they were to rock in the '70s, and
yeah.
Now I got one. Now my one hit wonder ties in. That was all I had a novelty. Have you ever heard of a song called "I'm a Nut"?
No.
No. It's by a country novelty song by a guy named Larry Pullins. It's a one-hit wonder. It was his only hit. A lot of people think it was Jimmy Rogers, or who did King of the Road?
Roger
Miller. Roger Miller.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned Roger Miller because he wrote a lot of those type of songs. He once wrote a song called "If I Can't Be Your Number One, then Number Two on You." Yeah.
So it's "I'm Up" by what's the artist?
It's Larry Pullins. Bring it up here. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Come on, Larry.
I remember a candy bar commercial with that.
Here we go.
Right?
I don't know if this is going to play or not.
I'm a nut. I'm a nut. My life don't ever get in a rut. The head on my shoulders is sort of loose, and I ain't got since God gave me boots. Lord, I ain't crazy, but I'm a nut. Is it wetter underwater if you're there when it rains? Is it shorter to New York than it is by plane? Between myself and I wonder who's the dumber. Is it hotter down south than it is in the summer?
I like it.
Anyway,
who was that?
It was Larry Pullen. I think it hit number 18 on a country chart. I mean, it was a hit.
Wow.
It's his only hit. It's been covered, but Roger Miller never did it. It's when you see on YouTube, a lot of these versions are misaddressed. Actually, Roger Miller, because like you said, it sounded kind of like him. But I heard that there's things you hear on the radio. I heard several great one-hit wonders, potential ones. So that was one of my. If that was a hit, it had to be his only one. But yep. Larry
Boom.
Now, Larry Pullen, what he wanted, he went on to leave the business after that, became a firefighter, and died at the age of 44 of a heart attack.
Oh.
Rest in peace. But
Wow.
Rest in peace. I'm a nut. I'm a nut. That was a total crap segment, wasn't it? I just
No.
threw some cotton candy. That was 25 minutes of
It
cotton
was actually
candy.
kind of fun.
Yeah,
Kind
you
of
know what?
fun, yeah.
It was all empty calories, man. It was
Look,
like nothing. It was
Lou, this is like the show when I first started listening to you guys. This is the kind of show I like. You know?
Because we didn't talk because we don't talk anymore. We didn't prepare for this. We mentioned the Mescaleros CD or
that's that. It's so funny. That was like that British
Cliff
guy,
Richard.
right? Who
Cliff
was
Richard.
really
Great
big. Cliff
song.
Richard.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now he had hits in the early '60s. Was he in the Shadows?
Yep. Richie
It was Cliff Richard and the Shadows.
Yeah.
and Richie Blackmore played for him at one point when he was. Yeah,
No shit.
yeah. A lot of people played for Cliff
Go.
Richards.
Get out of here.
Famous. The Shadows are a famous band,
Yeah.
especially the guitar player. I can't think of his name.
Hank Marvin. Hank Marvin.
Hank Marvin. Yeah. With
And
that
there's-
echoey Fender. Yep.
They were kind of surfy, weren't they, for English lads?
Yeah. Yep. You can. Yeah. Well, with a Fender guitar with a lot of reverb on it. Yep.
Guys,
I had my Telecaster plugged in last night. I haven't played it in a couple months.
cool.
Love that guitar.
Listen,
Yeah, I saw it over there earlier.
It might be there's a next back. Yeah.
Before we went on. Yep.
I
bit that.
I looked up while you were talking. I typed up the Mel Brooks song, and just when you bring it up on YouTube, there's a picture. I'm just I got to shut it down. The picture's making me.
It's amazing. Yeah. He's
Lots of
Jewish. I
helmets.
mean, he can. God.
So, do you guys want to go into the Joe Strummer and the Mescaleros Global A Go-Go record?
I think so because Lou's going to hear what we have to say, and it's going to he's going to like listening to it.
Yeah, well, let me just give a little lead in before. No, Lou, don't worry. I'll play a couple of songs. And
I was wrong.
You can.
I was wrong.
Fonz, what'd you say?
Right.
Well, Joe Strummer's real name was John Graham Mellor, Mellor. And he, I don't have to, everyone knows that, he had a band, the 101ers. He was, I don't have to anybody who's listening to this knows Joe Strummer. But in 1999, he started a band called the Mescaleros. So they were pretty much his backing band, Joe Strummer and the Mescaleros. And they were signed to a punk label in L.A. called Hellcat Records. Small label. So not unlike the Gene Clark and Dillard that we were talking about last week, the Fantastic Exhibition. I don't know what the sales were, but I'm sure they weren't like the Clash used to get.
What's considered a commercial failure under 25,000 units or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know. To me, they're great records. Some of these, they're some of the best records that you can get, are the ones that only made 2 records.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
To me, it's like Faulty Towers, with John Cleese. There's 12 episodes.
Yeah.
But I'll watch those 12 episodes over and over and over
Hmm.
again. They're just, I get John Cleese. Some people don't get them,
Oh, they're great.
but I get them.
Great.
So on this record, Global A Go-Go, Mark, you remember Sandinista by The Clash, right?
That's my personal favorite Clash album.
Yeah, and the fiddle player on there was a close friend of Joe Strummer, Timon Dog.
Mm-hmm.
And he played on the Lose the Skin. In fact, I believe he sang the song. And he's worked with The Clash. He's worked with Joe Strummer in the past. He's the fiddle player on this record, Global A Go-Go. Yeah.
Okay.
And also there's 2 new box sets. There's box sets that are coming out. It's called Joe Strummer 001. And that was just Joe Strummer material when he was with The Clash and things like that. And there's another one coming out called Joe Strummer 002. And this is, I guess, more stuff that he recorded with the Mescaleros. So these are box sets coming out, and they're on Dark Horse Records.
Ooh.
Is that George Harrison's old label?
That's George Harrison's label.
And that label existed all throughout the years.
Still exists. Yeah,
I didn't
Dark
know
Horse
that.
Records. Yep.
Wow.
So I don't know if Danny Harrison has anything to do with it or anything like that.
Were the Mescaleros, were they an existing band prior to him as the Mescaleros?
No, they were.
He named them
formed.
for that thing.
So yeah, yep.
Right. Okay.
And in 2000, they opened up for the Who.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a great opening band to have.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently, I'm going to look for it. They were on Dave Letterman or something like that. But Their final show was November 22nd, 2002, in Liverpool. Their final show, and that was it.
Liverpool.
Now, is that you have your Liverpool jersey
Yes.
on? So, but it kind of got overshadowed, their final show, because a week prior to that, November 15th, the Mescaleros played, and Mick Jones came on stage and guested with them. So that that was a big deal.
It was. They had some bad blood, those two, right?
For years, yeah. But so they got, they stayed apart, and they're like brothers, So, and that kind of overshadowed it. So Mick Jones, and they played, 3 or 4 songs. They played White Riot and songs like that, and the place went crazy, of course. But after their final show, they went right back to the studio to record their 4th album. And Mick Jones was writing songs with Joe Strummer again. So, and Mick Jones went, when he was interviewed, and he said, yeah, I'm writing songs with Joe for the new Mescaleros album. Joe Strummer told Mick that this was going to be for a new Clash album. They were going to get the Clash back together.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. Yep.
It would have happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
What year was that album put out? What we're talking about?
2001.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did Joe die? Was it 2002 or 3?
Well, here's the thing. I was just getting to that. So on November 22nd was their final show. Exactly 1 month later, December 22nd, he was walking his dogs, and he died. He had congenital heart defect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he died
at 50 years old. So on his birthday was he was born on August 21st. So on August 21st, I believe the 002 box set is coming out on Dark Horse Records on his birthday.
Wow.
August 21st. Yep. On his 70th birthday, that would have been. Yeah.
Wow.
So what do you think, Mark? You gave it a listen, right?
Yeah. So
I know you've listened in the past, but
well, here's the deal. First of all, another little thing to add about Joe Strummer. The Clash was considered a punk band. I didn't really consider him punk, but that was the punk scene. I always thought that he grew up in wherever, Brixton or whatever. Oh, hard life.
Mm-hmm.
He actually had a sad upbringing, but his parents were in either diplomacy or something, where he was sent to England and he went to boarding school. His parents were off in other countries working for the government, and he only saw his parents.
I think he was a
year.
diplomat or something.
Yeah, so he grew up different, but that shaped his life because he didn't like his upbringing. So it's like a lot more serious than I thought. So,
yep.
I got their first album, Rock Art in the X-Ray Style, because there was a great music show on HBO back then, and they showed them, and I said, this is great, and I bought it. Honestly, I feel stupid. I didn't know they put out 2 more albums. I just totally lost track of them. So I played this. It's so different than the first album. It's I hate to say world music, but it does have shades of world music. It's a lot more acoustic. I love it. I think it's such a leap from the first album. It hit me right away.
You mean this one, Global Go-Go?
Yeah. The first album,
It's
Rock Art.
mature. It's very mature.
And the thing is, and you wouldn't always associate this with the Joe Strummer album, the production is first rate. There's a lot of samples.
Yeah.
There's a lot of electronic stuff in there, but everything is in its place. There's a couple producers on the album. Joe, one of them. And whoever was putting in the little samples or little noises at the right spot. If you listen to this on headphones while you're walking or something, it just flows. No song, only one song is 3 minutes. All the songs are 5 to 6 minutes, which means Joe lets them just run their course, which is really good.
Well, here's another thing. Also, everyone in the band is a multi-instrumentalist.
Yeah.
So that helps a lot.
And that's from the first album to this one, he utilizes the musicians in the band so much better. So much better.
What I like is the way the songs build.
Yes, exactly.
So, for instance, the first song on the record is Johnny Appleseed, right? Lou, I'm going to play a sample of it, and watch how the song builds up.
Okay? Hold on a second. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I like when they build it. Hear the little piano in there?
Mm-hmm.
Electric piano.
Love his voice.
There's a lot of soul drinking from the well, locked in a factory.
Lots of instruments in there, yeah. And great backing vocal.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
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 It does have a kind of a worldly flavor in the drums there. You know, anytime you hear Tom Tom's
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely, yep.
Well,
Very good.
as the album moves on, Lou, there's like a little Latin influence on some songs. Still have the dance hall coming in here and there, and some Middle Eastern flavors coming in. Really neat
Absolutely.
melodies.
I'm glad you said that too, and even a little bit of gypsy.
Yes.
a little gypsy feel in there too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, very worldy. Absolutely.
So I love the album. Loved it. It took me 3 days. Normally it takes me a month to get into an album. I'm still going to be discovering things on it, but I took the chance to listen to the last album, and it's almost as good as Global Go-Go. So it's funny. The only album I knew from them is, I don't want to say it's a weak album, but the other two albums are just so far and above.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Streetcore, the third one was, of course, it was released posthumously.
Yeah.
I think that's one I had.
Yeah.
Couple songs produced by Rick
it's great.
Rubin on it, and he does Redemption Song, which I had heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So you want me to play a couple of samples of another song?
Yeah, play. Do you have Global Go-Go there, the song?
I do. I have it right here.
Love
Yep.
this.
Track number 3.
There's Time and Dog.
Full service bullet in. From the night ship DJ.
This could have been on a Clash record. This could have been on Sandinista or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
And I like what he
Yeah,
says.
anything-
He says the first song line is, "This song goes out to my county." I like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep. Do you have a Bindi Bagi there?
He
I
wasn't
do,
Irish,
yeah.
Irish, was he?
Wow.
I'll play this sample of this for
Yeah.
you. It's very worldly. You're right, Lou.
Very
It's-
worldly.
Absolutely. Yep.
That could be on a Paul Weller record.
Well, I was walking down the
It does rock, though.
and this guy stops me. He just got in from New Zealand.
You want some?
Just got in from New
You want some
Zealand.
mushy beans? Remember?
Yep. He had a great lyricist, this guy was.
Yeah, poet, definitely. He should have done an album of Woody Guthrie songs at some point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you got that 17-minute song, Minstrel Boy, but I love it. It's
the last song is longer than a Grateful Dead song. I mean, it's like 17 minutes.
It's
isn't it, or
good.
something?
I
But,
think all these songs were co-written, too. All music is composed by Joe Strummer, Martin Slattery, Pablo Cook, Scott Shields, and Time and Dog, except where noted. Like in Johnny Appleseed, is that a public domain? And Minstrel Boy was written by a guy named Thomas Moore. So
and
those
the
were all written
band,
together.
the band, there's people who've been in and out of the band. The drummer, there was a drummer on this record, but he wasn't there on the Global Go-Go, but he was on the first record, and, things like that. So there was sort of a rotating family of Mescaleros.
yeah.
Right. And I'm looking at all the instruments that everyone plays. It's a long list. They're all, you said they're all multi-instrumentalists, but I mean, if you look, I mean, each one's got like 6 paragraphs of instruments. They all play drums at some point, mostly. A lot are. So interesting. That's really wild.
Yeah, let me play a few seconds of Mega Bottle.
Yeah.
One guy plays a triple track drum kit on track number 10.
Really?
On At the Border guy. Well, how does Bummed Out City go? I like the title.
Well, let me play. I'll play a sample of that. Let's play a little bit of Mega Bottle Ride, okay?
Such a good tramp
I like this
into the
song.
fourth
Into the fourth dimension.
We got a Wilco record.
Blues.
Yeah.
The blues are throwing it all away. Just give me a tequila. I'll slam it the 40 way. And when I got there, you know,
I like the way these songs build.
it had certain similarities, like no smoking anywhere, and hiding in the car seat to avoid paying the fare.
Yeah, what a great record.
Great.
I'll listen to it this week.
Enjoy it. And
What did you want to hear, Lou? Burned Out City?
Bummed Out. Is it Bummed Out City?
Yeah, I'm looking at my teleprompter. It's got a rubber band in front of it. Oh, here it is, Bummed Out City.
Where'd you get the teleprompter?
It's a music stand with notes on it written in a Sharpie so I can see it. This is a good one.
It was me, drove off the off-ramp of the Sweetheart Highway. It was me, I admit I had
Ringo
planned.
could sing this.
This is what
that is good.
I gotta say. We're in Bummed Out City. That's what the sign says.
I like the bass.
Love Joe
Yeah,
Strummer.
yeah.
Just love him.
Boom, boom.
Yeah,
So
this
I like
record is a great record.
I like his stuff better than the Clash in a lot of ways. I mean, I've heard, I think the 2 other records that he did. I've heard some of this one, but I like the Clash in bits and pieces with me, though.
Yeah,
I have like
absolutely,
the flow of these albums better, but
I mean, London
I'm just
Calling is
not
one
that
of those
angry.
records. London Calling, like you can just drop the needle and that's it. And sometimes in some of the other records, like especially Give 'Em Enough Rope, the second album slumped. The one produced by the Blue Oyster Cult guy,
Sandy Pearlman.
Sandy
Ding.
Pearlman.
Weird matchup.
Now I understand we had a mysterious visitor to Asheville this weekend, but I
Really?
don't know. I didn't see him.
You didn't see
Who
his
was it?
glistening head?
He's a celebrity of the podcasting world. He's this.
I know who it is. Tom Spallone
Tom
from Going
Spallone.
Postal. Yep.
Of the Going Postal podcast.
Yeah.
I guess he did a hit and run with Asheville. Came up with his.
He went to the
lady.
mountains, huh?
Yeah.
He did tell me he says he likes the town. I knew he would.
Yeah. There's a lot to like.
Great town. Yeah.
So, Lou, do I understand correctly that you have a one-hit wonder that you wanted to talk about?
I already did. I'm a Nut by Leroy Pullen.
No, you're kidding, right?
That was a one-hit wonder, yeah, but it was a
okay.
novelty. It was a one-hit wonder novelty song, so it tied in.
All right, I've got a one-hit wonder, too, I would like to talk about. It's got a little bit of a history behind it, okay?
Can we guess
I'm going to
it?
play the intro, and I want to know if you can tell, just from the 2-bar intro, if you can tell me what song it is. You guys, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Here goes. It's coming. Go.
Baby, I want you to want me. Lobo.
Nope.
Come on, big little matata
You
now,
got it.
baby.
Alive and kicking.
Alive and
Yep.
kicking. Okay.
Let me carry on with it a few bars.
Nobody else before you ever gave me such a beautiful feeling.
I had this record. This was great. So now, come on, baby. Great chorus, great hook.
Yeah. Almost Herb Alpert like. No, no, no.
Well,
Never heard that before.
Now,
do you want to guess who wrote the song?
let's
Does it
see.
sound familiar in a sense? If you listen
Yeah.
closely,
It's
who do you
not
think
Burt
it
Bacharach.
sounds like?
It's not Burt Bacharach.
Nope. Tommy James wrote that song.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's
sounds
a
like
story behind it because this group was on
Okay.
Roulette Records.
it. Okay.
They were on Roulette. You know, the infamous Morris Levy label.
What was their
Morris Levy.
name, Perry?
Alive and Kickin'.
Not
from
like
Brooklyn.
Simple Minds. Alive and kicking.
So Tommy James had Crystal Blue Persuasion that he wrote. He wrote with Bob King a lot of his songs. Bob King, he co-wrote the song with Bob King also. They were going to give Crystal Blue Persuasion to Alive and Kickin', but Tommy realized it's such a good song, I have to keep it for myself. So as a favor, he wrote this song and gave it to them, and they had it was a top 10 hit,
I would think.
in
It was
Canada
a
and the
hit,
U.S.
sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Were they
But
Canadian?
if you listen, it'll remind you of Tommy. Like you can almost hear Tommy
And then-
James singing this thing,
Yeah, it already does.
right?
The keyboards.
Like Tommy James produced it also, so it's got that Tommy James production. That was a great 45. Yep.
That is the stuff I remember, like, as you know, in that era, the kids. Mark, that was the kind of music I remember hearing as a kid. I don't remember like the albums. Led Zeppelin sounded weird to me from my sister stereo. It was a little intimidating.
Yeah.
Black Sabbath sounded intimidating to me as an 8-year-old. So this stuff is what I gravitated toward. It was single top 40
that was
radio.
1970, so we were all young. We were listening to the radio. We're listening to the AM radio.
Yeah.
AM radio. Yeah.
Although you were a normal kid, I was the screwed up one in first grade listening to
You
brain
were.
salve surgery. I mean, that's just
Really,
kind of a
man.
little skull turning around on my turntable.
I have no regrets.
I don't either.
Good for you.
Now,
All right.
let me ask
Wait,
you
wait,
this. Yeah, go ahead.
I wonder who. Now, was that a self-contained band, or was that studio musician?
No,
Is
I
that
think
called-
they were. I think they were a band. They were from
Is that-
Brooklyn.
So that song
Alive-
goes tighter. That song's called Tighter, Tighter, right?
It's called Tighter, Tighter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were a
It was written
Brooklyn
by
band.
Tommy James and Bob King.
What is a Shondell?
Yeah, I don't know. That's like a doo-wop thing, isn't it?
It's an,
I was trying to see if there was any studio, like maybe that's Hal Blaine or that's a Wrecking Crew on playing with them.
Well,
but
it was in
you
New
can't
York,
tell.
obvious. Most likely recorded in New York.
those drums could be Hal Blaine.
It could be Hal Blaine. I was wondering. You never know. I mean, they may not have brought their drummer
Yeah.
into the studio,
their
but
drummer
was
this,
very
this was the era. But this was the era of bands bringing in their own bands. This was the ending of the Wrecking Crew, the 70s,
And
mid 70s
from-
into the 80s.
From what I read, and this would not surprise anyone, that they had a dispute with the record label over royalties and payments and things. So
In
because
short, they got screwed.
someone named Hesh wanted to put himself
Most
as
likely.
a songwriter.
yep.
Don't mesh with Hesh. might have to take a schwitz with him, you know.
But of course, we've watched Happy Days and things like that. And you ever see these names, Charles Fox and Norman Gimbel, and they wrote like Sunday, Monday, Happy Days,
Yeah.
Tuesday, and they wrote songs for these TV shows and stuff like that. They also wrote like that Roberta Flack song,
Which one?
the big Roberta Flack hit.
Killing Me Softly?
Killing Me Softly.
Really?
Here's another one. Those TV show guys wrote this song, and let me play a few seconds of it. All right. These guys wrote this song.
Like the pine trees lining the winding
Tim Croce.
road. I've got a name.
I didn't write this.
Those TV guys wrote this song. He didn't
No
write
way. Jim Croce didn't write this one?
it. It was written by Charles Fox and Norman Gimbel.
Mark, can we have a judgment call on that? I'm shocked.
Look it up.
Wow. I mean, it's so different than Happy Days and Killing Me Softly.
I don't know.
Those are prolific songwriters.
I love this part. Is that I love rolling me down the highway, rolling me down the highway. Oh, who played bass on it? Because is it Lee Sklar? Because the bass is one of the best parts of the song.
Could be. It sounds like him. Quick fingers.
Perry, you're right. Lyrics by Norman Gimbel and music by Charles Fox. So, I never
TV show guys.
I never knew that. I thought that
Yep.
I thought Jim Croce wrote it because he wrote it just about everything else he did. With
That was probably the only song on that record that he didn't write. Yeah. I don't know who played bass on it, man, but I'd like to find out because the bass is fabulous.
I know, and there's no listing of musicians there.
Yeah, they didn't have the personnel listed.
No.
And the original.
Sometimes they do, but
David Hasselhoff covered the song also.
And it was a big hit in Germany, I'm sure.
Yeah, but it was written by the guys who wrote like Laverne and Shirley the song, and
very good songwriting.
Who wrote this one? Come and knock on my door. Take a trip that is new.
Probably those guys. I think it was those guys.
Look, I'll catch up to you next week
you know
on
who
that.
the drummer is?
Who is it?
Okay.
No.
Al Blaine played drums on the Three's Company.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you listen to
Let me listen to a little bit of the bass on this song.
Like the whippoorwill and the babies cry. I've got a song.
Babies cry.
I've got a song. And I carry it with me.
The bass is unbelievable.
let's all put our beards on.
I bet it was Lee Sklar.
That could be in the Mellow Mafia recorded in California.
Yeah.
He's been kind of forgotten about, Jim Croce. But I listened a couple weeks ago. I listened to some of his greatest hits. One Less Set of Footsteps. It's a full band arrangement, but is Bed Ready Leroy Brown a novelty song?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it is. Yeah.
Whoa! Hey now, off the edge of the earth here.
Cut him off. Cut him off. It's
Well,
down
no,
bottom of the seventh.
Scratch that, Lou. I don't
Bottom
think
of
it's
the
a
seventh.
novelty song. I
I
don't think
snuck
it's a
them
novelty
in.
song. You know why? Because there were those. I don't know what category you would put them in, but there was Bad Leroy. Ever hear Frank Sinatra's version?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Well, anyway,
It's so
there was
bad. It's so
there
bad.
was Leroy Brown and Carole King had Smack, Ward, or Jack. So there was like a certain type of song that a lot of those artists did back then.
It wasn't musical comedy. Now, how about this? Is tie a yellow ribbon round the old. That's not necessarily a novelty. That is just like schlocky pop.
Wasn't that
Schlocky
about
pop.
that? Was that
Well,
something
you
about
forgot
veterans?
Schlocky pop tennis. What?
I know there was one you forgot. That
There's
Melanie song about the roller skates.
That's novelty.
That's
It's
novelty, yeah.
It's a metaphor for sex.
So,
Everything else.
so is
My
AC?
father met her in a furniture store in like 1970. She's from New Jersey, but she was from that Monmouth County area. But my dad goes, I met this roller skate girl, Melanie, in a furniture store. Anywho,
Wasn't so? Is AC/DC's "Big Balls" a novelty song? I think so.
it's called novelty cock rock.
My balls are always bouncing. My balls are always
here
full.
we go.
Everybody comes and comes again. Great song.
That's
Here we go, guys.
novelty metal.
The bottom of the eighth
eighth
on the Music Relish podcast. It all
Bottom of-
falls apart.
Well,
Yeah,
like
really.
novelty metal, wasn't it like the 80s?
I've been
No, that
sneaking
was,
beer into the show, Mark.
That was before Brian Johnson. That was I'm drawing a blank. The original singer.
No. I mean,
Bon
a lot
Scott.
of these LA bands in the tights and their go-go boots. And some people consider that metal.
Well, they were just riffing off of early '70s the glam. You know, they were just copying that.
Yeah, AC/DC they were hard rock band.
Yeah,
I don't call them
I
that.
didn't call them hard rock. They're a rock and roll band, just pure rock.
I mean,
and
rock
roll.
and roll band. I mean,
Especially with
yeah,
Bon
they're
Scott.
definitely.
You know.
In a great way though.
Yeah.
Something about just say living in Nashville sometimes makes me want to be in an AC/DC cover band.
And also, I guess
You know.
since Eddie Van Halen, all the
No
guitar
one's gonna hear
players
that.
started doing that thing.
Yeah.
Double
Hammer-ons.
hammer-ons.
Yeah.
Could you do that again? Do that again. Wait,
And then if you were going to be a lead guitar player, you had to be able to do that for some
Yeah.
Hey,
reason, right?
did you ever see
gotta be
the
a
Al
gunslinger.
Di Meola? This is Al Di Meola. So you got to stretch your fingers out. You just
Yeah.
gotta-
Oh, jazz chords.
Yeah.
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 jazz chords, 6 augmented minus 9. Or
My
Diminished
whatever.
fifth.
I have dreams of
1, 4, 5.
I have dreams about playing that stuff. I can't do it. Like I said, I love Pat
No?
Metheny. Could never ever get it. Couldn't get it.
You can't do it?
You can do it if you try.
You can't do that stuff?
No, those chords.
You can do it if you try. Victory.
If you ever watch Pat
I
Metheny,
think
I always
you
tell
could.
people, watch Pat Metheny, but when he's not playing a solo, watch the chords he's playing. And he's playing piano jazz chords on the guitar, and his fingers are just, I don't know. I just tried. You have to go to college.
Certain hands.
Yeah.
Certain hands.
But interesting that those TV guys wrote that great song.
That's amazing.
Really? Yeah.
And I think they wrote the Roberta Flack hit too. I believe they wrote that
Killing
one
Me
as
Softly.
well.
Wow.
Yeah, Killing Me Softly. Mark's looking it up now.
When you think about it, when you have that kind of talent, that kind of scope, yeah, you can say, like, we're going to knock this off for a TV show.
Yeah.
So I remember I always thought that Van Halen's "Why Can't This Be Love" would be like a Schlitz commercial. It's got what it takes.
I was thinking Pepsi.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Pepsi. Yeah.
Yeah. I always had this one with
It's got-
Canada Dry Ginger Ale is. It's the one that's like crisp and right to that OJ song.
One of a
right?
kind love affair.
One of
Or-
a kind love affair.
How
Yeah.
about this one? Cold 45. I don't know how I drink all
Yes.
day. What?
I'd walk a mile for a
games people
camel.
play.
How we doing, Mark?
Right, so,
You looking up Roberta Flack
Yeah.
Killing Me Softly, or
yeah, hold on. And I got
Killing me softly with.
well, the producer was Joel
that was a
Zorn.
great song.
And
Maybe I'm wrong.
production. They're
Maybe
not
I'm
telling
right.
who wrote it.
Maybe,
I got some great
maybe I'm wrong.
I found some great stuff.
What'd you find?
Norman Gimbel. He was a lyricist for Killing Me Softly.
Yep.
Ready to Take a Chance Again, well, that means Canadian Sussex. He also wrote English language lyrics for many international hits, including The Girl from Ipanema, How Insensitive, that was covered by Frank Sinatra, and was it Juan Carlos Jobim?
Joe Beam.
the-
Joe Beam. Get that name
Joe
right.
Beam. And Drinking Water. One of my favorite songs is Drinking Water.
Yes.
Agua di beber, give the flower water to drink. He wrote the lyrics to that. Wow. Very, very cool. See, nominate. Wait. He wrote the song, the lyrics for the song from Norma Ray. I like It Goes Like It Goes. You want an Academy Award for that? Interesting. You never know.
You want to hear something really nasty?
He wrote the
Robert
Three's Company.
Sure.
Robert Christgau.
He wrote what?
Oh, go ahead.
No,
That's
go
a-
ahead. Robert Christgau.
Robert
This is
Christgau.
this is a
critic.
journalist
Yeah.
that Lou was talking about. Yeah.
All right, so in a column for Cream was reviewing Killing Me Softly. He said, she always makes you wonder whether she's going to fall asleep before you do. Ooh, that's nasty.
Wow.
Man, that's not nice.
Well. Also, it brought. I think who brought new life into it? The Fugees.
Oh, yeah.
Or some group like
That was a
that
good
brought
version.
new life
I
to
liked
that song.
That was
It
good.
was. It was.
Yeah.
That was a good version. Yeah.
Yeah. They gave it a beat.
Yep.
That was a downer.
Hey, you know what? All my stuff tonight is downers. Like, I'm talking about people dying. I'm sorry, guys. You got to pick it up.
That's it. No, you're balancing with the novelty schmaltz half hour we used on that.
So anyway, Lou, question for you.
Yes. Sure.
I was going to recommend an album to review, but if you have to catch up, can you do 2 albums in 1 week?
Yeah.
No.
No.
I can't.
No, Perry, you don't, because it was Global Go-Go that Lou has to listen to. Can you do 2 in a week, or do you want to wait till next week? Lou.
I mean, for us to listen to
Yeah.
Percy is not going to listen to 2 records in 1 week.
No, he doesn't have to, because you said you wanted to listen to Global Go-Go.
Okay.
But I was going to recommend an album for the 2 of you,
Okay.
but you.
Okay.
I don't know if you were going to come back with a review of Global Go-Go next week. Were you going to?
No, maybe not. Maybe
Yeah.
not. I
You
kinda, we gotta,
heard it today,
Yeah.
right? And,
and I'll listen to it on my own. But I really like what I heard.
It's a great
I'm
driving
expecting-
album. You're going to
yeah.
love it driving around.
Cool.
It's great.
All right.
All right. So
I don't have Spotify in my car.
Spitify.
If I'd be home.
Yeah.
So what were we thinking?
Okay. So it's killing me. I really want you guys to listen to an album by this artist. You know it's coming. You know it's coming. No, it's not Zebra. So I was weighing which album to recommend because they have 3 distinct phases in their career. So I'm just going to lay it out on you. Porcupine Tree. And Lou, it's a drummer's album. In Absentia. It's a very deep, dark album. So kind of like put headphones on if possible, but it's it's my favorite album of theirs. So that's why I'm asking you guys, but just soak it up this week. If you hate it, that's fine, you know. But behind those heavy songs are some of the most beautiful melodies ever written. And
we're journalists.
And by the way, it's Steven Wilson proving that he can write any genre and still get those great melodies in. Okay,
cool.
All right.
Okay, cool.
What year did it come out? Out of curiosity.
Why are you doing this to me?
Come on, the information is at your fingertips, man.
I know.
I'm going to come in with a thorough analysis next week because I was asleep at the switch this week.
Well, Lou, there's a little thing you have to know about it. It was the first album with Gavin Harrison, who is a fantastic drummer. He's now with King Crimson. Actually, no, he's now with Porcupine Tree, who I'm seeing in September. So it came out in 2002. It was the first album when they really started recording in America, whereas before that they were totally in England. They were a little more electronic. This was a more hard rock, but not typical hard rock. It's still progressive. So gonna leave it at that. And listen to the drums.
I will.
Oh, guys, I bought a new laptop. Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I made a
kind of low tech, isn't it?
I made a martini, Perry. See?
Can you get the Music Relish podcast on that?
Man.
I can draw. I can do like a diner and steps.
Dude, do a Music Relish podcast on it for next week. Come on.
Yeah, maybe I will.
I could never use those things.
I'm waiting for the Pez dispensers to come arriving at my house.
You have to order them.
I took pictures of our heads and say, do something with this.
Yeah. Do you need, what do they call those things?
I got like a
What do
bust.
they call those things?
I got a death mask.
No, when you the blue people, what do they call avatar? You need an avatar.
Oh, okay, right.
They do the Pez head from your avatar.
And then you know what comes next? The bobblehead dolls. The Music Relish.
Oh yeah.
Mine's gonna be Shaggy.
Yep.
I'll be like that guy from the Mets, that pitcher with the shaggy hair. Oh well.
Well, I'm out of stuff, guys. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
We're at an hour. Why don't we just have at it?
You want me to find a closing theme? What is the closing theme?
My way.
You're on the controls there, mister. What
Asheville Skyline.
Asheville
Skyline, right?
Okay.
Yep. Let me play a little bit of this closing theme, and we shall say goodnight.
And the closing theme has all 3 of us playing on it. That's what we did.
All 3 of us. Yeah.
What is our email address? We forgot to mention at the beginning of the show. When you see us on YouTube, subscribe.
Yeah.
Subscribe to us.
Yeah. Yep.
We've subscribed to you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'd like to thank my producer, Corey Dolinsky, technical producer. And
did he do the edits?
No, I did the edits.
Good job.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, man.
I'm smart. I can handle things. I'm smart. I want respect.
I'm smart, not fine.
I'm not dumb like everybody says.
No, I'm dumb.
Smart. I want respect.
Somebody. Can I re-record those guitar solos?
That's me playing lead guitar.
Well, Lou's playing lead drums.
Those are Mark's fluid guitar licks.
Lou's playing lead producer, lead drums.
Lead drums.
Lead and rhythm drums, yes.
And what's that, Mr. Bojangles chicken. We were stocked, for this session, we were stocked full of Bojangles chicken.
Yes, we were. We got the big box.
From Weaverville, North Carolina.
The big-ass box of chicken. Not like the time you gave your technical director Corey $50 and go to McDonald's and get something, and he did.
It's 50 pounds of gas.
Really?
The next morning, I hear Perry in the living room going, "I ate like Morgan Spurlock."
I did. I did.
Liver swollen.
Did we
I
say
paid for it the next day.
Did we say the our email address? musicrelishpodcast@gmail.com.
At gmail.com. And
Check us out on
we are on
YouTube, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, and Perry.
Google.
Google, I believe. I will look into that further, but I believe we're on Google as well. Yep.
We don't even know where we are.
And Spotify.
Spotify.
We're in your heads.
Yeah, at all times. So be careful what you're thinking.
Well, 3 max headrooms. Yep.
That's a wrap.